Thank you, Mr. Hearn. Now we recognize the gentlelady from California, Mrs. Sanchez, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Today, Republicans are once again demonstrating their unfailing commitment to shielding large corporations from paying their fair share in taxes. Rather than working towards real solutions, Republicans want to let massive multinational corporations move their profits to no tax or low tax jurisdiction so that they can avoid paying their fair share. And rather than working towards real solutions, Republicans are willing to put nearly 9 million U.S. workers out of a job. In contrast, Democrats recognize that we must remove profit-shifting incentives from our international tax system. We support the Biden administration's work to protect domestic tax incentives. Those incentives include many of the Inflation Reduction Act's green tax credits that represent the largest single climate investment in American history. Protecting those green energy tax incentives would deliver lower costs for working families and take a huge step in the right direction in protecting our planet. And anybody who doubts that we are in dire need to protect our planet only has to look to the extreme heat that we are currently experiencing to understand what exactly is at stake. I want to focus on a crucial part of the Inflation Reduction Act, which are the transferable tax credits. Firms that don't have the tax capacity to claim non-refundable credits can still benefit from the IRA's transferable credits, spurring green energy development. The OECD guidance released on Monday was certainly favorable on the transferable credits issue. This is going to help protect billions of dollars that Democrats invested in clean manufacturing, for instance. Assistant Secretary Plowgian, thank you for being here. Despite the way that you've been badgered a bit, you're answering, I think, as honestly as you can. And I just want to say, I assume that the favorable guidance on the transferable credits wasn't a result of your staying home and watching reruns of The Golden Girls. So I want to thank you for your service, and I want to thank you for taking multiple trips across the Atlantic to advocate on behalf of the United States in these negotiations. I think it's important for the committee to get a sense of the type of work that goes into your advocacy here on behalf of the United States. Can you describe some of the opposition that you faced, and how did the United States' persistence at the negotiating table pay off?
Thank you, Congresswoman. So this was an issue on which we received a lot of input from Congress and from U.S. businesses about the importance of these credits and their treatment under Pillar 2. As you suggest, approximately 9 months ago, many countries opposed treating transferable credits as refundable. There were a few allies early on who were very important to building momentum, but the majority view was deep skepticism of this position. The process of changing the view in the room is really a multi-pronged one. So Secretary Yellen spent time with her counterparts explaining the importance of these credits economically and from a climate perspective as well. International affairs engaged with their counterparts in other countries. The rest of the administration engaged as well. I certainly spent time with the lead tax negotiators from key jurisdictions, building support. And then my team, and I just cannot say enough good things about my team. They have been amazing and tireless through this whole process. They have to convince negotiators that our position is the right policy one, the right technical one, and come up with a technical solution. They have been working nights, weekends, holidays, early mornings, and just really have been tireless and amazing throughout the entire process. And of course, none of that would have been possible if we were not at the table in the inclusive framework representing U.S. interests in these discussions.
And how favorable was that ultimate guidance to U.S.?
I think it was very favorable. So it addressed two main issues for the originators of these credits, the taxpayers who engage in the projects that give rise to the credits. It treats the credits as refundable, meaning that they are treated as income rather than as a reduction in tax expense, which helps protect the value of the credits. With respect to the purchasers, they treat just the net amount, so the difference between the value of the credit and the amount paid for the credit, as a benefit, and that was a huge request from stakeholder community with respect to these credits.
Again, I thank you for your service, and I yield back.